Welcome back to a new mic'd up video. In the last workout was supposed to be the first workout of the deload week, and did not go that well. At least I went too heavy, so obviously not ideal if you're trying to genuinely recover during the week. I think it was actually good. I did the mini pig squat workout to make myself sore, so I just don't have the motivation to kill myself. But the other thing I'm kind of dealing with is the soreness from that bodybuilding day. I have a ton of my biceps still. Everything else, my triceps are a bit sore, but it's not really that noticeable. But my biceps are very, very sore. And I think that's just because I don't do a lot of bicep work. And I did 10 sets of 10 of all the exercises, really. So I got a lot of DOMs from that. And then from, obviously, the squats yesterday, DOMs in my quads, which are pretty rare. But when you do as many reps as I did yesterday, kind of makes sense. So I modified the workout today. That's what I did yesterday with the block work. It was supposed to be sets of 4 in the snatch off the floor, and I did not want to do sets of 4 in the snatch. It was only 75 kilos, but sets of 4 sounded miserable. So I wanted to do some block work because I had some block cleans, so I just made some block snatches and block cleans. I went way too hard at the snatches, which is my own fault, but I was trying to just be fast under the bar, and they weren't feeling it too bad until they felt bad, but that was more so because my arms are very fatigued right now. So today I modified. I think I was supposed to have, actually I just remember because I just changed it, but I was supposed to have some front squat reps, some clean pulls, some push press. I took those exercises off and I changed the snatch work that I split from yesterday to today, which I originally was going to do some no hook snatches, but I'm going to do some muscle snatches instead. And then some muscle clean to strict press. I think I put no hook, no foot clean. I'm just going to do no hook, no foot power cleans, I suppose, and then strict press. So we'll be really light, so this mic'd up will be the whole workout, but I figured that would be good, especially for today where everything's kind of sore. And honestly, the snatch I missed yesterday looked relatively normal on video. It felt really scary. Not that anything in particular hurt from it, but when it was above my head and I missed and it went behind me, I felt a crack in my elbow, kind of like a crack you'd feel in any sort of joint. I didn't have any pain or anything after, and there's no pain or soreness today. And I was able to do the clean and jerks after, so I know it's not an injury. It was just a joint crack, but it was certainly, when a weight's up behind your head, it certainly is kind of a weird spot to feel that crack and a little unnerving. So glad that I don't have any symptoms or inflammation or anything from that. I just have the DOMs, the bad DOMs, and even in there, but it's on both arms where it's sore, even on my forearm part. So it's nice that it's symmetrical. I don't have too much soreness on one side or the other. But muscle snatches, I don't know how heavy I'll go with these. I'm going to try to not have any equipment on just to make the workout go a little bit faster. We'll throw 43 kilos on and do that for, I don't know, a double. The app doesn't delineate between different versions of the muscle snatch. I mostly do no hook, no feet, no contact. I guess no feet's kind of implied with muscle snatch, but no contact, Lasha style. So it's not very important that I differentiate between the different kinds, because I'm only going to do the one kind for the most part. And if you do the other kinds mixed with it, I don't think it's really that important. It is just a muscle snatch, any version that you do, really. It's just it's a good deload movement. And I haven't done them since I've started back up the program. Oh, my legs are very sore. But thankfully, the elbow crack, it sounds so weird to say, but sometimes joints do crack that kind of your shoulder will sometimes pop, and it's just, it feels like it shouldn't, but it just does. I guess I'm getting old, but any sort of catastrophic injury that I have will certainly be the end of my weightlifting time. I'm not going to spend all the time rehabbing and trying to get back to where I was if something catastrophic did happen like that. I would just squat and pull, because I have a feeling if I do have some sort of injury, it will be with the upper body. Since my arms are so weak, Trying to do a muscle snatch. Everything hurts. Well, don't want to say hurt. Everything's sore. No. So no discomfort in my arm from those, so I know it's not any sort of injury. It's just soreness, and I have to remember that when you do a bunch of arm stuff, it does make the that lockout less stable. It's actually a time I hurt my wrist on a jerk after doing a bunch of biceps the day before, and I didn't feel the DOMs until the day after I injured myself. But I was doing the jerk, and it just like flipped out of my hands, and it was really bizarre because it just went out of my hands. But then shortly after, my wrist was really sore. And then the next day, both my biceps had really bad DOMs. And then I realized probably don't max out your jerk after doing a bunch of biceps, which shouldn't have tried to do that 120 after doing all the arm stuff the previous day. You live and you learn. Just have to remember not to be stupid, but we're going to start and stop and move up to, I don't know, move up to something. The weight I chose to go up to is 61. Nothing that's too heavy, but do it for a double here, and let me see. So I switch to the exercise on here, and it says 46 kilos for doubles. Of course, they don't know that I'm a muscle snatch specialist, so we'll upgrade that to 61. So I at least do a double here. It says 3 doubles, because that would theoretically make up for the volume that I took off from yesterday. So it was what, 3 sets of 4. So I did theoretically 3 doubles yesterday, 3 doubles today, but it's not too important. Since it is a deload, it's a good time to experiment with movements you either haven't done in a while or would like to do again, which in the case of the block snatches and muscle snatch, it's kind of both. Not so much an experiment. It's kind of weird to lift when every single muscle is sore. A nice mosquito flying in front of me. That's why I have that light up behind me. Helps a ton, actually, with here. I haven't had to use nearly the amount of bug spray that I historically have. And I used to have, last summer, I bought like a garage mosquito filter thing for the shed door. And that works really great. But then in the winter, it just wasn't staying on very well. So I ended up just pulling it off. But that does a really good job. I'm pleasantly surprised with it. It's just only scary when it catches something really big, and you can hear it burning like the Green Mile movie for like 30 seconds, it seems, but it does work pretty well. Let's do another set here. Let's do them all pretty quick. I'm not worried about trying to increase the load today. Just trying to move a little bit, because that's one of the things. That's why I like training every day. Is like you can always find something to do. And even like today where I don't want to do anything, you can always do something and then still feel productive and probably aid in recovery for the next session. So I don't know what I have tomorrow, but it's all light this week. Besides the big Saturday. Nothing too difficult. Haven't actually used any chalk today either. It's weird, like I love using it and I use a ton of it when I'm doing like serious lifts, but if I'm doing light stuff, then I almost never need it. But as soon as I go heavy, drench my hands like Ilya in it. We'll start and stop here, make sure the video doesn't get messed up, but we'll do one more set here and then just move right into doing some essentially muscle cleans and strict press. I don't sound excited today because I'm not super energetic, but quite happy with, mostly happy with the update. There's some functionality differences, like the navigating in the app doesn't work as well, but I think that's because they've done other updates. They have to fix other things. So it's nothing wrong with the program itself. It's just sometimes like adding and removing things and it gets a little wonky. But if you keep everything how it is and you don't change a lot, then like entering stuff in isn't that big of a deal. I'm changing a lot of stuff. So it does become a little bit messed up from that, but it's not too bad. I was trying to swap the exercise because I have it as no hook, no feet clean plus strict press. I was trying to change that to be muscle clean to strict press to see how much that would change the recommended load. I'm basically do whatever I want as far as the load goes because it's just a press movement. But I wanted to see what that would look like, but it wasn't working, and I'm not going to mess with it that much. It's not that important. But I could like re-add in the exercise, like make a brand new one. But it's nice when if you have like a clean and jerk and you swap it and you build your own complex, it will give you the load automatically. For whatever exercise that you pick. So it went from like 118 kilos in the clean and jerk to 71 kilos in the no hook, no foot clean plus strict press. So it changes the load for you, which is nice when you want to change stuff in there. So I do like that aspect of it. But in general, I'm really happy with how training's going. As I had that heavy day and, I was missing snatches, but I had that aggression. And if anyone's really any sort of lifting that you do, when you have that aggression and you have that like extra oomph, it's like the best day to train, and it's the best day to go heavy because you just have that little bit of extra effort that you could put in. And even though I was missing a couple of the weights, it was nice to be able to go up to 125 again and to do 155 on the same day, to put those together and to do, like the 200 kilo pause squat, like to do all of that in one day was a really nice day. And I kind of knew like I was going to feel the repercussions of that, which is one of the reasons I did that bodybuilding day the next day. I don't know why my arm is itchy. Maybe I got bit by something or I scratched it. But it's really nice to be back up to that point because now this is feeling really good. I'm having a little bit of residual issue with the low back on the right side, but it's nothing that's like preventing me from training. It's just like more, I feel like I get a pump really quick in my low back, and then it feels more so on my right side than my left. So that's just something to continue to work on. But I've been doing, let me just set real quick before I talk for 20 minutes before doing another exercise. Plus my arm is really itchy right now. I think I definitely got bit by a mosquito. It's because I made of sugar. I'm too sweet. But those all felt easy. Obviously, I didn't increase the weight with the sets of 2 that I was doing. So nothing that was too difficult. But I'm real happy with how the program's going so far. I have been changing a lot and adapting and doing things with the program. But it's nice to be able to get up to those heavy numbers. I was particularly surprised with the clean and jerk because I haven't done 155 since I did that 157 or anything greater, equal to or greater than that, for a very long time since that day, and it felt pretty manageable, especially with the clean, because that was what I was mostly worried about. But my legs are coming back, they're getting stronger, and they're really not even that strong yet, which to me is the exciting part, is like they're almost in a good state to where I know I want to do really good technique with the clean, because I fear, or at least I'm telling myself, like, you don't have a lot extra left or a lot to cheat in the clean to get away with. So it's making me be a little bit more strict about my clean technique, and my jerks are feeling good. So hopefully, not as important that each heavy day on the Saturdays goes extremely well, but it's nice when they do. And I kind of want to at least have I want to set those minimums on those days, because I don't really care if I go for a new PR on every Saturday from the middle of volume, or this week a deload week or whatever. But to be able to get to a certain number, I had been like 110, 140, and now I want to be able to make it so every single heavy day that I do is like 120, 150, and then if I do anything more, that's a bonus. But to kind of set those minimum standards with those days, so then I'm building that consistency with those numbers, because that's really what I need to be able to do, is be able to get up to 120, 125 without any misses, with clean reps, and make them feel easy in order to be able to attack heavier and heavier weights. Same with the clean and jerk. After I did that 155, I was like, I feel like I could do more, but I'm being a lot more conservative with clean jerks than in the past, just to make sure that I don't re-injure anything or do anything crazy with them. And I think that's probably for the best, because it will save. I'm not going crazy trying to do a super heavy clean or something, because I don't think I really need to do those. I always get hurt. That's like the most common way that I've gotten hurt, is just trying to do cleans too heavy or in some sort of complex or something. So be much more conservative with those, focus on trying to make my jerks be as good as they can be, because then I kind of feel like I can clean whatever I need to clean. The limiter will always be the jerk. So as long as my legs are continuing to get stronger, I'm not worried about hitting a new 1 rep max in the clean. I'm more worried about getting up to close to 100%, because honestly, with how that 155 felt, like, if the training keeps going how it is, then I'm pretty confident that I'll be able to start pushing like 165 towards the end of this block of training. If not at some point during the block of training, just kind of depends if there's a particular good day of training. But if I'm able to get on these heavy Saturdays, eventually like have a random day where I do 130, 160 or whatever, then that will obviously be a really big motivation to get me to sign up for that November meet, because I'm kind of want to finish this whole block of training and then see where I'm at, and then attack that November meet if it feels like I'm going to be able to push a PR. Because if I'm just going to do 125, 160, or 162, again, like, it's not really worth it. But if I can open at 123, and that's like, I'm going to smash that weight and jump to 128 and have a really good chance at doing that. And same with like clean jerks, open at like 158 or even 155. But like, to be able to attack something above that previous max for the competition, that's obviously going to be ideal. Because, why would I bother? I'm not winning any medals, so there's no point in me trying to compete until I can at least have a chance of going above those. But we're going to keep the 61 on there. We're doing muscle clean to press, and just do 61. The program says 71, so I might just throw 80 on there just to do the 3 singles that are on there. And really, that'll be about it. Most of this workout's just been me talking and just moving around a little bit, trying to get loosened up for the rest of the week session, trying to recover from yesterday squats, because I was trying to kill my legs. I would like to one day do pig squats, the whole thing, but I'm just not built for high reps in the squat. They just burn my legs so much so quickly when I get to, I think the furthest I've ever gone, especially I did it with pounds, but with kilos, I think the furthest I've gone is like 140, 150 maybe. But like, by that point, my legs are just so fried that I just don't have anything left to do anymore, even if I were just to do singles up to 210. Because 210 is a good squat on any particular day for me. But we'll stop this, start it, and do some muscle clean to press. So we'll go ahead and hit this first set here before I get too rambly again. I think we'll put this over here just so I'm not worried about it. I don't know why I brought it back over to me. Easy peasy. So we'll just do the 3 singles at 80. It shouldn't be anything that's too difficult with that, even with the muscle cleans. I've gotten better at muscle cleans because I've done them with the overhead pressing as kind of like a recovery day, because that's another reason I like muscle snatches and muscle cleans and stuff for lighter days, is that when my legs and everything's really sore, I just don't want to sit in a full squat and like go through that full range of motion just because it's sore. It doesn't hurt. It's just really sore and I just don't want to. So it's nice just to use my posterior chain to get some extra work in. But like I was talking about earlier, I'm really encouraged by how my training's going, because even though like I spent a lot of the first couple weeks of the block recovering with my hip, I'm almost back basically where I was at the end of the last block, which was a very short one. I think it was like 4 or 5 weeks long. So it's nice to have a longer one, have more opportunities to build strength and all that, and just, get to those bigger numbers. But I'm pretty confident that, barring any sort of setback or illness or injury or anything like that, I should be pretty well good to do a pretty good November meet. I just want to continue to work as hard as I can in these sessions and just push as hard as I can, so I can eventually do a 140 snatch, eventually do a 170 clean jerk, because that's kind of my lifetime goals. When I first started weightlifting, I conservatively, so when I first was like getting into it and kind of had a better idea of what was going on, I said before I finish, I want to do 140, 170. That's like what I think is possible, what I think is realistic. I still think it is. But like my stretch goal was 150, 180. And that was like, if everything goes perfect. And then if I hopped on this nozzle, 160. But I don't think I'm going to be doing 160 anytime soon, because I like having my organs intact, and it's not that deep to force myself to go to those depths to get stronger. But I still think 140, 170 is very realistic, and hopefully sooner rather than later, I'm able to push up to those numbers. I think that right now the biggest thing preventing me from pushing those numbers is my leg strength, which is nice because that's a very easy thing to work on. I think technically I am relatively close to it, but if my back and my legs and everything get stronger, then I think I'll be really able to attack those numbers, and just have to continue to try to build the technique, obviously, continue to try to get stronger, of course, but I think that the AI is doing an actually good job of that, and every time I've done it, my legs have gotten stronger, and everything in this block of training has gotten better. And I think it's also helped that I'm doing a longer block, because the last 1 or 2 times, at least the last time, it was a really short block, so it's hard to really like judge the program when it's essentially you're just using it as a peak, because now I'm doing a lot more general training as well. So just have to make sure I try to do like as many of the reps as I can with different days, but trying to be realistic. Like the sets of 4 in the snatch yesterday, I'm not going to spend all my mental energy trying to do a set of 4 in the snatch, because especially with this competition bar, it's just going to tear up my hands and it's just not fun. I'd rather just do doubles and just spread out the workouts, because when I notice that I have a session of say 3x4 snatch and then the next day I don't have any snatching, to me it makes more sense just to split those snatches between the 2 days, because I'd rather snatch more frequently anyway, and there's a chance that I would just add in snatch work of any sort. And so to me it makes more sense to just do less reps on both of those particular days so I can snatch with more frequency. But we're going to go ahead, start and stop the video. So I think it's like 20 minutes before the camera shuts off, as far as like the limit of one length of a clip. And I like to start and stop just so I don't forget. And then I'm sitting here talking to the camera that's not on. And then there's a big gap. But I'm a bit rambly today, but that kind of happens when I'm not as super into training on a particular day. Although, like, it's weird. I'm like pretty motivated to like press, but I'm just not. I'm not in any rush to do it, but we'll start and stop, and then we'll do this 80. Hopefully it feels pretty good. I haven't done strict press in a couple days, like a week? I don't know. I always forget certain exercises like this. I feel like I pressed last week. Who knows? Didn't feel too bad. It actually felt pretty easy. I don't want to go up from there. I'm just going to keep the weight there since this is a deload week, and I definitely feel like today needs to be light anyway. Other thing I keep forgetting, I want to talk about my shoes. I keep wearing these Adidas ones and not my Ramaleos. These are honestly more comfortable than the Ramaleos. I've pleasantly surprised when I got these that they fit my foot better. The strap, the one strap, which I thought would be a negative, works fine, and it like holds my foot on better. Because with most shoes, I think it's my left foot is a slightly different size than my right foot. I have never actually measured it, but most shoes I have, like one of them doesn't fit as snug as the other, and with these they fit really snug, which is ideal. And they seem kind of wide, like they're not tight in the front part, but they're tight around my heel, which is like the perfect fit, which is why I got them, and I've been wearing them basically since I've got them, and I don't really plan on switching back. Certainly the most comfortable ones I've gotten in a while. I don't know if that they are the best shoe or whatever, but they are nice to have a comfortable shoe and one that I'm comfortable lifting in, which is ideal. Because the Rambaleos, they're really good, and wouldn't have no problem wearing them, and I like the aesthetic of them, but the strap is just so dang long, and I keep wanting to cut it, but it just feels wrong to cut the strap. But the strap is just so obnoxiously long for no reason. But I don't know. These just fit really well, so we're going to keep rocking with them. Plus, I like the red and the black. It's my favorite color scheme. But we'll do this 80 again. That wasn't my joints that were cracking. That's the bug zapper. I'm not that old yet. I do think it's pretty cool that I was able to do the 220 press. That's been something I've thought about or wanting to have done for a very long time. And I remember pressing when I was in college with like 125 pounds and it being difficult. And like getting past 135 was difficult. My strict press was always terrible when I was first starting to do it. And over the years, it kind of builds. I think it's one of those things that as you get more years in the training, it's one of those things that slowly builds because it just takes years to get the muscles to grow for the shoulders. But I don't know. It's weird because I've always done it and always tried to increase it, but I've never done like a dedicated program like just want to increase my strict press. It's always just been a part of training, and I think it's probably the best way to have it because it isn't the end all be all to training. It's just a fun lift to do, and it does have some carryover, but it's not one that like if I were to strict press 105 kilos that my whole weightlifting life would change. It would just be fun to do. But I guess 100 kilos is not my body weight since I weigh like 107, so maybe 110 would be nice to do, but this sounds impossible. 110 sounds actually impossible, but maybe once I'm retired from weightlifting and I'm too old to do snatches and clean jerk, I'll just strict press every day. I'll do strict press and back squat and deadlift. Just be a power lifter, but with no bench press. No bench press for me. Let's do our last 80. Lockout overhead feels good. Definitely know I didn't injure my elbow. So everything feels good as far as that goes. But I suppose we won't know till we go heavy, but nothing that's flaring up or feeling bad in the slightest, which is nice. But I think that's it. I don't think I have anything more today because I took out all the hard stuff. Makes training a lot easier when you just cheat and delete exercises. That's the real secret to the AI. You just hit that delete button. We'll hit the white lights for all these. Let's see what I have tomorrow. So today's done. As you saw the exercises, I didn't do much today. Tomorrow is supposed to be power position snatch plus hang snatch plus or hang snatch above the knee plus hang snatch below the knee. So I am sure I will change that because I do not ever do power position anything because I just don't believe in that movement. I think it's a barbell trick, and I think it messes up technique, and I've never wanted to learn it. Just like CrossFit reps, catching multiple reps from like the hang with a hook grip still, I'm just not going to learn it. I'll just drop the bar and pick it back up if I have no straps, if I have to. It's what I've always done with reps. I've just dropped it and picked it back up. That's one of the benefits of having a 302 kilo deadlift or having that capacity, is that if I have to do an extra pull, like, it's not going to ruin my workout. It's not going to ruin the set that I'm doing, especially when it's like 80 kilos or something. But then the same kind of thing with clean jerks, what power position clean, plus hang clean above the knee, plus hang clean below the knee, plus jerk. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 with the jerks. That does not sound fun. And then some accessory work, which I will be taking off because that was one of the things that I had the goal of on that Monday session when I just did all the bodybuilding stuff, was to essentially combine all the accessory work into one day. So I'm not doing weightlifting. I'm just getting yacked on that day. And then I don't have to do accessories the rest of the week. So that's why I did 10 sets of 10 of different movements. But I'll be deleting those. And then what's Friday? Bottom up front squat. I ain't going to do that because I don't need a low back pump. Clean pull. And then it says single leg glute bridge and dumbbell row and plank. But I'm not going to do those accessories for the reasons I just mentioned. Then the heavy Saturday, which will be interesting to see how that day goes because I'm not going to be lifting heavy the rest of the week, really. So that could go really good because I'm fresh, or it could be not as good because I'm not primed. So it's kind of might be a wash on that day. And then some no hook, no feet. No hook, no feet, clean and jerk. Bottom ups. Did it say bottom up? I'm just do pause squats. I ain't going to do bottom up back squats. Just works my low back too much. And I do not need any more low back work than some curl that day. So it looks like it added, I went through the week and deleted the accessories since I moved them all on that Monday. And that kind of messed up some things because I was trying to just complete the exercises on the days that were there, but it was messing up the app because I would complete an accessory from Friday and then it wouldn't let me enter stuff in on Tuesday. So I was just putting everything in on the Tuesday workout. So my Tuesday workout looks insane because I have 10 sets of 10 of these different accessory movements along with the normal movements, but I put it all in that day, so then the rest of the week I can delete the accessories and not have any issues with the app. But I think that's about it for this video. I know it's mostly just me rambling. It's not any sort of exciting lifting, just some 61 kilo muscle snatches and some 80 kilo muscle clean and presses. But I felt like this would be a good day to have a mic'd up video. It's, try to find a session with it. I don't know how frequent I'll be able to do these during the school year. I know once the weather starts to turn and I'm at the gym a lot, I probably won't be able to do these hardly at all unless I do a session out here, which potentially even in the dead of winter, I might be able to come out and do like that Monday session if it's just bodybuilding. So that might be to my advantage to continue to have that day, especially because it'll help split up the 2 weeks. So I'm undecided with that because I am extremely sore and almost like too sore if I had a normal week of training. But I think that if I continue to have those days once a week, then my body will adapt to it and I won't get as sore on those days, particularly if I'm doing the same exercises on those days. But the last thing I wanted to mention, the front foot elevated lunge. I've been really liking doing those. So let me move this out of the way. Been actually doing them. I did it on Monday with this plate here, but essentially with the step, and it's a very high elevation, so I'm not worried about getting like an extreme range of motion or getting an extreme pump from these. I'm mostly using it as a stretch. So if I'm really sore like I am today, I'll kind of use some sort of support, mostly just to lean, get a hip stretch, but really kind of push into that leg and just get a little pump in. And I'll probably do more of these once I'm off video because I don't think you guys want to sit here and watch me do a bunch of these. But it's been really nice. Like I'll just sit and it'll stretch my hip flexor. But on that day, I don't know if I did 10 sets of 10, but I certainly did quite a few sets because I wasn't counting for these. But they feel really good, and I think it'll be probably my go-to leg accessory, less for the strength in the leg pump, but more so for the mobility of it. And I think it is helping that hip continue to recover as well. I think everything's kind of helping it. But yeah, that's about it for this one. Sorry for it being a bit rambly, but I guess that's what you get with a mic'd up video, me rambling for 30 odd minutes. It kind of allows me to feel okay being a little bit more concise in my other videos, because I know I'll have one of these just to let out all of my rambles. But anywho, hopefully if you made it this far, you enjoy my rambles so far, and I do appreciate all the support. I think I'm like 1826 when I'm making this video, so it's crazy just to see the growth and the progress of the channel. I know it's shorts that are doing a lot of the help with that, but it's exciting to see that. And honestly, never thought I'd be, over 500 or 1,000 subscribers, and on the way to being monetized. Not monetized. I need a lot more watch hours, but at this trajectory that I'm going, hopefully next year, that would be a pretty conservative goal, or a pretty aggressive goal, I should say. Sometime maybe next summer, I'd be able to push to be monetized. But I think if everything continues to grow, then I'm happy with that, because it's progress, just like I'm progress here with the weights. Feels good to have that, and feel like what you're doing on YouTube is working. But anywho, that's it for this one. I'll talk to you all in the next video. Have a great day. Peace.